on talking to me. Keep on talking. Keep on talking to me. Keep on talking. Keep on. All right, Mr. Holiday here. We got a great assignment. Cinemagraphs. Cinema means movement. Graphs means a still. All right, so let's start this project up. Uh, so what I want to show you first is the cinema, which is the clouds that we will manipulate in this piece. So you'll find an MP4. We'll find some free MP4s that are copyright free and free to the public, and we'll go over those issues later. But these are clouds, and you can actually use these in your cinematograph. Uh, I got a still of an image, uh, which is some glasses and me holding a Deer Park bottle. The glasses are on the Cavalier's hat. So we're going to put this whole thing together in Photoshop. What I want to do first is show you a finished cinematograph and how things look. It looks kind of daunting here, but it's really easy. All right, so here's my whole piece together. You have the music, you have the clouds, you have various layers. We've got about 5 layers of the hat, 1 layer of the clouds, and 1 audio track. So let's see what it sounds like and looks like, starting from the beginning. So there you have it. Your cinematograph project will be anywhere from 10 to 20 seconds long. Uh, and you'll do I would say about a half a dozen of them because they'll go pretty quick. So the first thing you need to do is, uh, get things started with an idea. So whatever idea you have in mind, uh, that's what you want to do as your cinematograph project. You want to think about a cool idea. So my idea was clouds floating in glasses and an empty bottle. Okay, so let's get started. First thing you're going to do is File, New, and you're going to come to HDTV 1080p. This is where you want to be at, and that's in film and video. Been doing a lot of things in print, but from this point out, we're working with film and video. HDTV 1080p. It's going to give you a 1920 width, 1080 height, 72 res. Everything's good. All right, now I'm going to get rid of this timeline so you can see how this actually comes to play, and I'm going to shrink it up to size. So the timeline is found in Windows, but we'll come back to that in a minute. Hit Control-0 so you can see the whole document, and I'm going to put my layers back over here. So this is what your page is going to look like. So what I want to do is go to File, Place Embedded, this image of the graph, which was the glasses and the bottle. Okay, now when that comes in, uh, take my layer palette out over here so you can see how things are manipulated. Comes in, and I want to hit Enter, and that makes it into a smart layer. Then I want to right click this and go to Rasterize Layer, which will allow me to modify and make copies and do all kinds of cool things to this layer. Okay, the next thing I want to bring in is my cinema. This is my graph. I want to bring in my cinema now. I'm going to get rid of this background. So I'm just going to click on that lock and backspace, get rid of that background. I'm going to create a new layer, take this layer and put it up under the cinema, up under the graph. So your cinema should be at the bottom, your graph should be at the top. Cinema at the bottom, graph at the top. So I'm going to go to File, I'm going to place embedded the MP4 clouds, and it comes in like this. Now I'll turn off my vision so you can see my clouds there. Now you can't see motion on this at all, and I don't want to rasterize the layer. I want to just leave it like this. All right, so when am I going to see motion? You're going to go to Windows, you're going to come down to Timeline. When you come to timeline, it says create video timeline. We're working with videos. There's also another setting for frame animation, but that's for another lesson. So I want to create videos. So when I click this, you can see I have my video here at the bottom. All right, now I'm sliding this up so I can have better workflow, and I'm going to click on this area. Notice that I'm in the move tool because I don't want to accidentally paint on anything. So the move tool is a very good tool to be in. I'm going to make that a little smaller. Okay, now this cloud is about 15 seconds long. And the way I check that, so I'll scrub all the way to the end and I look at was actually 14 and some change. So we said 10 to 20 seconds. All right, so you can see the cloud moving. I scrub through this. This is called my edit line. It's a vertical line that I'm scrubbing through to check my motion on my MP4. Now, what I want to do is make this hat and these clouds come together as a cinemagraph. So I know that I need some more images of the hat because I want, number one, to see the clouds come through this lens on the glasses, come through this lens, come through the bottle, and then finally both lenses. So I'm going to make 4 more of these images by holding down Control J. Now I got 5 images, and you can see how they all lined up on these video tracks. So with this first one, I want to slide it over to about a quarter of the duration. So, about a little less than 2/3, a quarter. And then I want to slide this one over here. And all of these are in chronological order. So this one is going to come here. And I think these are going to have to get squeezed up a little bit. So I'm just visually looking at these. And I want to squeeze it up to about maybe 2/3. And then I want another quarter of a length. So if I go to the very edge, I can grab and make it as small as large as I want it. And I want it all to fit within the timeline. And then finally, the last one fits here. And it should line up right with the timeline. And I'll squeeze it up a little bit here so it snaps. By the way, this thing will have a snap for you. If you want it to snap, I got it unsnapped, but it kind of snaps into place automatically. If I want to zoom in on this and make sure that these edges line up, I take my timeline and I come down here and I zoom in. And I could see where these two are. Now they're totally lined up. Okay, so that's going to be really good. So this is my video, my cinema, and my graph. I'm going to zoom back out because I'm ready to start some cool effects. Okay, so the first one is going to be a still of just the whole frame. This one I'm going to modify with a vector layer mask. So I'm going to put a layer mask right on this frame because, anyone I click on, it goes to that. So that's this one, layer mask. And I want a layer mask on this one. And I'm going to skip this one, which is here. And I want to put it finally on this image 4, another layer mask. Because on these two, I'm going to knock out the left eye, the right eye, and then on this one, I'm going to knock out the bottle and both eyes. And I'm going to do this pretty quick. So when you use a layer mask, you want to use the paintbrush tool and lower the opacity to 71, flow is at 100. And I want to use a soft brush, all right, a soft brush. And I want to use black and white. So make sure that you have a pure black, pure white by hitting D to default. All right, and X will toggle black, black will subtract, white will add. So I have to be on the layer mask here. I zoom in, Alt scroll, and watch this. I'm going to start subtracting that lens really quick, and you can see the cloud right up under it. And because it's 70, it gives me some control. So I'll have to go over the area a little bit more. If you want, you can push it up to 100. And for the sake of time, I think I will push it up to 100. And you can make the brush smaller. So you can see the clouds on this side. And I'm going through this really quick, not making it as perfect as the example. I'm just trying to show you how this is going to work. Now, check this out. If I scrub through this, you can see those clouds moving in that area. Isn't that awesome? All right, now I want to go to, actually, I did too much on that. So I'm going to hit Control Z on this a little bit. That wasn't supposed to happen until the next frame. Now I want to go to this frame and do that. Right, I want to get rid of, I have to make sure that I'm on the vector mask area. All right, because if you're on this part, you'll paint orange, and I don't want to do that. You want to see what that looks like? See, it's orange. Control Z. I want to be on this part of the frame, the layer mask. Now I'm going to knock out that eye really quick. All right, I'm not going to be as careful as I could be for the sake of time. I'm just going to rush along, and there you have it. And if I scrub through that, scrub through the whole thing, it's on that lens, then it's on that lens, and then I don't see anything, right? Because I didn't put a layer mask on that. Come to the last layer mask, almost done. I'm going to work on my bottle here a little bit, right? So I'm just going to block. Oh, what didn't I do? I have to be on the layer mask right there, layer mask. I'm going to put this bottle in. You can see that I'm starting to see the blue sky behind the bottle. And if you make a mistake and go like that, wow, you can hit Control Z, or you can hit X toggles and paint it out. Remember, white will add back the image and black will subtract. So you'll practice that and you'll make some mistakes, but it'll be really easy to modify and get this thing to look right. So I'm going to stop talking here. I'm going to say a few more words here because you can see I'm trying to hurry this thing along. I'm not going to talk as much. All right. Now I can get really accurate with this by making a smaller brush. And I want to see it on the glasses. Okay. And I scrub through the whole thing. And there's my Cinemagraph. Now I want to add audio. So down here, and you don't have to add audio, but this, for those that want to get into it, I would like you to do it. Try it if you got enough time. You click on the audio track here, the icon, and you go to add audio. And by the way, you can't have anything selected. So click off to the side. Nothing can be selected when you add audio because audio is very tricky. And I come to that audio, which is Moments in Love by Art of Noise. And there it is. There's my audio. Now, this audio doesn't start up right away. It starts up like almost 2 seconds to almost 2:30 into the song. So I'm going to start it at 2:25. And I'm going to come up to these scissors. Now, it has to be selected. Scissors will cut. Select that part that I want to cut away. Click on the icon and delete audio. Now it's snapped right to the beginning. And I want to also cut it at the very end of the whole piece. So I'm going to zoom in, make sure everything's lined up. I'm gonna cut it about right there. That's fine. Select the track, cut it, select that part, come over here and delete audio clip. Now I'm gonna zoom back out and I'm gonna hit play. There you go. You're going to export this. File, export, come down to render video. Okay, and then when you render the video, you give it a name. You make sure that it's going to go to the right folder. So select the folder, and it should be the same folder that you were using, Cinemagraph folder. Okay. And the name should be whatever you want. I'm going to call it test 1 because you're going to do 6 of these. And it should just render right away. And it will render as a H.264. And I'll go through that again. File, export, render video, give it a name, make sure that it's going to the right folder. It's H.264, high quality, and you hit render, or you can hit enter. And there you go. And it should be right in that folder. Okay. So if I go to that folder, let me hit cancel on this. You go to the folder, and there it is, test 1. And if you can play it, hand it in, it should be fine. All right. Have fun.